Morning! This is take two because I got about 5 minutes into this and then realised that my microphone wasn't on. So I'm trying again this morning and I thought it was a good day today, but hey ho, there we go. Gorgeous day in Brighouse today. We've got beautiful blue sunshine. No, we haven't got blue sunshine, we've got blue skies with sunshine. Oh no, I thought today was starting off really well and it's already going downhill. Wednesdays. So what we got going on? So I've got my Wednesdays back now. So I've been covering for a member of staff at work, going through all the A-level exams. So we've got all that done. It's marked. Marks go off tomorrow. So hopefully everything's going to be fine with all that. So that's one less stress in my life. Glad I've got my Wednesdays back now. Even though I've only been 2 days a week, I do 2 days over 3. So I do Monday morning. No, I don't. I do Monday all day, Tuesday morning, Thursday afternoon. Working a Wednesday felt like I was doing a 4-day week, so it's actually quite nice knowing that I've got my day off today. I woke up this morning, I was going to go back to sleep, and it's like, nope, get up, do things, because you're popping out later on, so let's get the Wobble Gob done and shared. So I've got my breakfast with me, and I thought I'd share what I have been doing. Stitching outside last night, which was gorgeous, shared that on my Instagram. Duncan came and sat on my feet, which was quite cute. So stitching outside seems to be, it's going to be a thing now. And it's something I'm determined that I'm going to do a little bit more of. I've got too much into a habit of coming home, doing what I need to do, making tea, and then just going and sitting in the lounge and putting the telly on and just watching rubbish on the telly. So I'm going to try now and make it more of a point to be outside. I want to sort my garden out and potter around and just try and organise things. I know in my little diary thing that I'm keeping on an evening, just trying to sort out a timetable. I'm a good person with timetables. I'm not very good when I don't have a plan of what I'm doing. I find that I waste a lot of time and I don't like wasting time, unless I've set time aside to waste time, obviously. So yeah, just trying to organise what I'm doing, moving forward, and just feeling a lot more positive about things, and it's just generally good. So big thing that happened this last week was I finished my biggest piece that I've done so far with my whole series. So this is an 18-inch hoop. It's got all sorts of things in this. This sort of combined loads of different things that I'd been exploring. So it's multiple hoops. People keep asking me how I do this, and am I going to do a workshop in it? At the moment, no, I'm not doing a workshop. This is my own work. It's a series that I'm building up. Hoping, well, I'm going to exhibit it on my stand at Knit and Stitch in Harrogate. But I'm hoping to possibly, I don't know, maybe work towards an exhibition or something like that of my stuff. So no doubt at some point it might become a workshop, but at the moment it isn't. This is just my guilty pleasure, which I'm absolutely loving doing. So it's got all sorts on here. So it's a cotton organza that's been printed and drawn into and painted and then built up with different layers. So I've trapped things. There was hours and hours and hours of seed stitch. I think probably about 15 hours worth of seed stitch there. I think this piece probably has taken me 50 plus hours. So I've got my darn, a little bit of my darning that's not finished intentionally, that's gone over into another piece that's given me. I love doing stuff like this because as you do things and you try things out, it gives you ideas as to what you can do next. I'm already planning my next piece, which is going to be another big hoop, but not as many. Yeah, I sort of know where I'm going with it and I know what I want to do. It's just working it out. So that's what I'm busy doing at the moment, sort of gone back to looking at samples. So I started the Shelley Rhodes workshop last year where I did my drawers. Oh, move that there. And then ended up with a piece out of the first part of the workshop. So this was the first bit that I did. I bought myself a little set of printers trays and I decided to display all the pieces in here. So you can sort of see from this it's had a massive impact on what I'm doing, but this is a bit more different. There's like papers and things in there as well, and then there's these little drawn booklets that I did, and I loved doing these little wrapped tags as final pieces. So I love going and doing workshops and learning new things, but then the biggest thing that I learned when I did the Donna Watson thing was she was talking about how when you do workshops it's important to then bring it back and put your own stamp on it. So there's going to be elements of this coming back in. So the second part of the Shelley Rhodes one was a bit more of an experimental mixed media. So that's what I'm just working on at the moment, along and sort of combining bits from that with my own stuff. So the next bit was about covering up which really fits in with my idea of holes. When we have holes in our life, we do want to try and fix and mend and cover them and things like that. So I started with a little series. This is what I was doing last night. I've got some other ones that aren't dyed that are on the wall. I can't get them down because they're up on the wall at the moment. But just looking at how then I can start moving this forward. So these were pieces that I've made as slightly off-white fabric, using vintage fabrics, because that idea of story and journeys and things like that is still continuing in my work. And then I've patched and folded and furrowed and trapped and stitched, and now I've added, they're not dyes, it's just watercolour that I've added into it, because these are pieces of work that aren't going to be washed or worn or anything like that. They're more of an art piece. I don't worry too much about the materials, it's more about the effects. So with the watercolour, it was about wetting the pieces and putting the colour on, and then I've let it overnight just have its own journey, and then I'm going to come back in and then working with another layer. I'm going to start covering things up, and then I'll go back in and stitch into it and things like that. So these will just keep developing as we're going along. So that's what I'm doing with my yoga work. And what I'm also doing is combining that with the Donna Watts project that I did, and carrying on with my sketchbook that we did. So I sort of recorded my journey. So this was my planning pages when I was looking at my last piece. So just looking at developing my hoop, it changed ever so slightly, so there was going to be a bigger circle on there, but then decided not to do that. So my pieces do alter with the video at this moment in time. I think it's okay. Yeah, it had a bit of a glitch then, not quite sure what was going on. I hope that didn't show, I just looked up then, so I don't know if I've just glitched or been a bit weird. But these are my planning pages for my book, and then I sort of record my journey of what I've done. So you can sort of see here, this is sort of where it started, and building it up and adding my colours, and then just next steps and developing. And then this is the series that I've got now. It's on a mirrored door in my studio with the hoops. So this was the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one. I've still not finished that one. It's one of the ones that I think I'll probably end up going back to and working on, and then that's that one, and then I'm going for another one now. And then I've done this idea of repair, mend and fix. So these are the samples that I've got on my wall at the moment, where I've done lots of different types of stitching, looked at different ways of patching and adding in, then done a theme based on circles, and then I'm starting to record what I'm going to do next. So this is my workbook as I'm going through. I tend to call them workbooks rather than sketchbooks, because there's a mixture of drawings and photographs and stuff like that as I'm going along in here. So I practice things out. These was where I was stamping. These bits were actually the bits that I removed from the stamp, which I quite liked, so they just played on there. And then when I've been away on holiday, I do pages. That's my feather that I found there with the other bits. So that's just my book when I'm doing my book work. So I'm quite enjoying having the time and making time for doing stuff for me, which was the whole plan this year. So it's quite good that one plan is actually working and carrying on. I'll share my bit of shopping. This is Vicky from the Linen Garden on Instagram. She has a website. Gorgeous, gorgeous lady, very dangerous. So she put on that she was making these stitched ribbons, and I went on. Some of them are saris, sari silks, or silk ribbon, not saris, silk ribbons with lace, and there was one that I really wanted, and by the time I'd put it in my basket and got to the checkout, somebody else beat me to it. And it's always lovely getting parcels from Vicky because they smell nice as well, and they come on beautiful cards that she's done. So they're just beautiful. I love that. So it's got like that snap of the yellow in it. So I've got these because of the combinations of colours, and you'll see that they sort of fit in with my work as well. So that one particularly. So I've no doubt that these are going to start appearing in my pieces as well. So that's quite exciting. I love getting bits like that. Bit of yumminess. Can't go wrong with a little bit of yumminess in your life. So that was that little purchase. They're just so cute. It's like Christmas when she sends you a parcel. It's just wrapped up and it's so cute. Sent me a lovely, lovely card on the front. So they're really, really, really cute. Online PhD day. That was a new thing that I started last week. And they're just going to pop up every now and again. I'll share them on my Ko-fi, and I forgot to put them on my website, which I will do again. But it's really just because with our stitching community, we can't always get to PhD days. Unfortunately, you don't all live near Brighouse. We've got PhD day this Friday. There's a few places left if you're near enough and you fancy coming. PhD is just projects half done. I know some people call them UFOs and all different sorts of things, but I call them a PhD because it makes me sound super clever. And I just thought I'll do a couple of online ones. So they're usually, well, they could be at any time of the week. It's just whenever I want to sit and get something done and I don't fancy sitting here by myself. So they'll be online, and it was lovely. There were about 9 or 10 people on this one, and it's just lovely chat. You don't have to chat. You can just come and sit with your project and just listen to the chat in the background. So at least it makes you feel like you're not on your own. So that was really, really nice. The van's progressing brilliantly. Done quite a lot of work on that. It's going to have a massive progression over half term because we're going to get the walls and the shower cubicle toilet thing sorted, and Robert's been doing all the plumbing. So he did warn me that we get to a stage where we're going to end up covering up everything we've done, so it won't look like we've done very much, but it's getting quite exciting, yeah. And then this weekend, you see my little stitch postcard, I went to Wolverhampton. Wow, what a reception I received there. Absolutely delightful group of ladies. Went down last Friday and gave a talk, my journey from A to Z, an accident and a mistake, which is basically all about me and how I've come to where I am now, really. I love sharing my journey because a lot of people, especially people in the stitching community, we have so many things that sort of resonate with each other and that we share, and common interests and journeys. Don't know, sometimes it's quite nice just to reflect back on how you've got to where you are. And I always believe, I talk about this in my talk, things happen for a reason. When I look back, I don't know whether or not there is a greater journey that's already planned out for you, but I think there's decisions, and I can see decisions that I've made have led me on the path, and if I'd have taken a different decision, I suppose it's that film Sliding Doors, if you've seen that. I love that film. It's whether or not she gets on the train or not. It's just great. But then the story, they end up back at the same place, so no matter which journey you go on, we all end up somewhere. That's a load of rubbish, Anne. You're just talking a load of rubbish. Anyway, we do end up somewhere. It is a journey, we do end up somewhere. Anyway, so I gave a talk on the Friday, which was lovely. Met lots of ladies that have done loads of my different challenges and saw some beautiful examples of tags and flags and scrolls and stitching hours and different types of books and all sorts. Absolutely stunning. So thank you so much, ladies, for making me feel so welcome. And then on the Saturday we did my vintage postcard workshop. This isn't a finished one, this was one that I was demonstrating on. 25 people on the workshops, biggest workshop I've ever done, and it was fantastic. It was a very, very quick day. Everybody was so busy, and I'm going to post just at the end of this some photos and then a little video of the postcards that everybody did. And it must have gone okay because they've invited me back in 2025, which is quite scary that I've already made a booking for 2025. So that's it. Oh, wellness. Wellness for me is the stitching community and going out and meeting people that have helped me. I know when I've met people, they talk about how I help them, especially during COVID and stuff like that, but I think people don't realise how much you've all helped me and given me, firstly, a purpose for stitching, but also this is my job and I love it. I feel very, very lucky. So I suppose that's one of my other wellness things today. I do feel very lucky that you all support me and stitch along, and I'm very grateful for that. I do not take it for granted at all. I just feel very, very lucky, and it gives me the opportunity then to keep stitching and keep creating and coming up with ideas and things like that. And I'm thankful that the sun's out. It makes you feel so much better. Soak up that vitamin D and post pictures of wherever you stitch in. So I think that's it. I think that's everything off my list. Yep, I think that's everything off my list. I have to make a list because you know me, I'll go off on a tangent and talk about something else. So today I'm going off to see a friend for a little bit. And then this afternoon I am filming stitches. I've been learning new stitches for the 52 stitches. One in particular that I absolutely love. Can't wait to share that one with you. So happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you're well and safe, and I will see you. Not sure whether there'll be one next week because we're on half term and it's Van Day next week. Oh, and next Wednesday we're having a gin and stitch at my friend Liz's with our little sociopath group. So yeah, I might not be online next Wednesday, or if I am, it'll be interesting. Otherwise, I'll see you shortly. Okay. Hopefully this is recorded and there is sound. Mwah! Love you all. Happy stitching.